So am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So up to last class, we have completed electric dipole, electric field due to a dipole. Any doubt from the last lecture?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, let's solve few numericals based on the concept. So you have two dipoles, one dipole here, another dipole here, and you're supposed to calculate electric field over this point, P. This separation from the center of first dipole is R. The separation from the center of second dipole is again R. And say the point is A. The dipole moment is P1, and here also the dipole moment is P2. So to calculate field at point P, first of all, you have to decide that for the dipole 1, this point lies on which line? It lies on the axial line, or this point lies on the equatorial line. So the net field at point A is the sum of electric field due to the dipole 1 and electric field due to the dipole 2. Yes, Sania, for the dipole 1, this point lies on equatorial line or on the axial line?
Axial line.
Axial line. It lies on the axis of the dipole. So on the axial line, Sania, what's the relation of electric field on the axial line of dipole? Yes, Sania, expression of electric field on the axial line of dipole.
2 equatorial.
2, then?
Equatorial.
Yeah, twice of equatorial line, but just tell me the expression in terms of dipole moment and separation. Mariam, will you tell the expression of electric field on axial line of dipole?
Yes, sir. P by 4 pi epsilon r cube.
It's 2p, huh?
Oh, yeah, 2p. Sorry.
2p over 4 pi epsilon naught r cube. Okay, tell me one more thing. What's the direction of field on the axial line? Direction of electric field on the axial line of the dipole. What's the direction of field on the axial line?
Away.
Direction of field is same as that of dipole moment. Huh? The direction of field is exactly same as the dipole moment. So dipole moment is acting to the right hand side. So the electric field will also act to the right hand side. Right hand side means it's acting along positive x-axis. Shahzada, what's the unit vector along positive x-axis?
So P cap.
I cap, right?
Oh, sorry, I cap.
Yeah, the unit vector along positive x-axis is I cap. So that's I cap. Similarly, for the second dipole, this point A lies on which line? Amalia?
Yes, sir.
For this second dipole, this point lies on which line? On the axial line or on the equatorial line?
Axial line.
Axial line. So what's the expression of field on the axial line?
2 pi, 2p by 4 pi epsilon 0 r cube.
And what's the direction of the field? What's the direction of field along x-axis, y-axis? What's the direction of field?
G cap, y-axis.
J cap. Very good. So the dipole moment is upwards. That means the field is again in upwards direction. So that is your E2. This is the direction of field. So you can simply put a J cap over here. So this is direction of electric field due to both the dipoles at point A. Is it clear, everyone? Shahzada, Ahmad?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just note it down, then move on to the next topic. Mayam, you were absent in the last class or you were there?
No, sir, I was present.
You were present. Okay, Fatima was absent. Just tell me when you have written. Okay. So can I change the slide?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, after electric dipole, the next topic is electric field lines. The next is electric field lines. Okay, first understand what are electric field lines. So if I take a charge, say I take a positive charge, then around this positive charge, its electric field will exist. Huh? If you have a charge, then around this charge, its electric field will exist. But is that field visible? Can you see that field?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Field is not visible. But if you can see the field, or if you can somehow geometrically draw the field, then it's easier to understand the properties of field. It's always easier to understand a quantity which you can see or which you can draw. So electric field lines will basically gives a geometrical explanation of the electric field. Although electric field is not visible, but we can draw some curves, some lines, some geometrical shapes just to show the electric field. That curve, that shapes are known as electric field lines. So in a very simple language, electric field lines are geometrical and pictorial representation of electric field. And pictorial representation of electric field. Representation of electric field. So the geometrical or pictorial representation of electric field is basically electric field lines. So just by looking at the field lines now, you can decide various properties of the electric field. You can decide what is the direction of field. You can decide where the field is strong, where the field is weak. You can even decide the position of the neutral point. Just by looking at the field lines, you can decide various properties of the field. So that's a very general definition. The standard definition that is given in books is that electric field lines are curved such that tangent to them gives direction of electric field. So electric field lines are basically curves. If you tangent to these curves, then you will get the direction of field now. So direction of field is given by the tangents to the electric field lines. Which means if you have a field line here, like this is a field line, and if I ask you to draw a tangent on this field line, if I ask you to draw a tangent on the field line, then this tangent will give the direction of field. This is the direction of field now. Similarly, if I draw a tangent here, if I draw a tangent here, then this is the direction of field over this point. So what we measure is electric field. If you have a charge, I ask you to calculate electric field at some distance r. What we measure is electric field. But what is electric field line? They are just geometrical description of electric field. Now, one more important thing. Electric field lines is a hypothetical theoretical concept. Practically, nothing like field lines exist. Like in real life, there is nothing like field lines. If you take a charge, even if you use electron microscope, you will never observe field lines. Field lines are purely theoretical concept. This concept is used to give a geometrical definition for the concept of electric field. Now, if this is purely a theoretical concept, then you should have some rules to draw these field lines. We have certain sets of rules to draw field lines. Those rules are also known as properties of electric field lines. Properties of electric field lines. So when we use these properties to draw field lines, whatever shape we get, that shape will fully explain electric field. That shape will explain the direction of field. That shape will explain the magnitude of field. That shape will explain the attraction and repulsion. Just by looking at the picture, you can decide that whether the charges are attracting or they are repulsing. So the first property is tangent to field lines, tangent to electric field lines, electric field lines. So from now onwards, for electric field line, I will use EFL. Electric field lines are just EFL. Give direction of electric field. So if I draw a tangent to the field line, then that tangent will give the direction of field. So if this is field lines, I ask you to decide the direction of field over this point. What you will do, you will put a tangent here. This tangent will give the direction of field. Similarly, this is field line. If I ask you to draw a tangent here, then this tangent will give the direction of field. So the tangent to electric field lines will give the direction of electric field now. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just a few questions. I just want to know how much you get from this thing. Shehzada, can you explain what are field lines in a very simple layman language? I'm not asking definition.
So like electric field line, if you draw a tangent,
Hmm.
and that tangent that's the direction of the electric field line.
Okay. So, okay. Ahmed, what are field lines exactly? I'm not asking definition. Huh? What do you understand by the concept of field lines?
You can say like it is the like minimum or maximum force at which magnetic or electric field like electric force is experienced.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Noor, what are field lines like?
So the geometrical representation of electric field.
Nice. See, when we say field line, the first thing that should comes to your mind is this is some sort of picture of electric field. I know that many of you are not using these terms because I said don't use the exact definition. But whenever the term field lines, whenever you hear the term field lines, the first thing that should come to your mind is field lines are the picture of electric field. That's it. We are basically drawing a picture of electric field. And what's the benefit of drawing that picture? The benefit is that picture can explain every property of electric field. When I say every property, that means it can explain the direction of field. That picture can explain the magnitude of field. That picture can explain the neutral point. That picture can explain the attraction. That picture can explain the repulsion. That picture can explain the behavior of conductor in electric field. So we are basically drawing a picture, and that picture is a hypothetical concept that does not exist in reality. That's a hypothetical concept, just to help, it helps you to visualize field. That what is field? You can visualize field easily if you can draw its picture. Fatma, I think you were absent in the last class, huh?
Yes, sir.
So there is not
No,
more.
I was present in last class. I
You were
was
present
absent
on
for
Monday.
this.
No, you were not there on Monday, I guess.
Um,
You were absent on Monday. You were present on the last week.
yeah.
So this lecture, today's lecture, and the lecture of Monday are not related. Okay. So this is sort of independent thing. This depends on the concept of electric field that you did on last Wednesday. So just try to understand, you will get everything. It does not depends on the previous lecture that you have missed. So that is electric field. Just note down these properties and I will rub it. Tell me once you have written, I will erase it.
I wrote, sir.
Okay. Can I erase it, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now after electric field lines, the next is, that was the first property of field lines. Next we have the second property of field lines. So what the first property says? First property says about the direction of field. It says if you want direction of field, just draw a tangent. That tangent will give the direction. Now the second property, there is one conceptual question based on the first property. The conceptual question says that two electric field lines can never cross each other. Can never cross each other. So if you have two field lines, those two field lines cannot cross each other. Why they can't cross each other? Because at the point of intersection, we can draw two tangents. You can draw two tangents at the point of intersection. Two tangents means two directions of electric field. That will mean two directions of field at a single point. Two directions of field at a single point. Which is physically not possible. Which is physically not possible. So that means if I take two field lines and I say that these two field lines crosses. So this is the point of intersection. Over this point of intersection, we can draw two tangents. This is first tangent and this is second tangent. We can draw two tangents. Two tangents would mean that at one point you have two different directions of fields, which is practically not possible. At one point you can have one direction of field only, but this intersection would show that you have two directions of field at a single point, which is not possible. That's why two electric field lines will never cross each other. Is it clear, this explanation and this statement?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, move on to second property. So the first property tells you about the direction of field. Second property will tell you about the magnitude of field. So second property says relative separation or relative density or separation of field lines gives strength of electric field. Strength of electric field means the magnitude of field electric field is given by the relative density of the field lines. When I say density, that means separation of the field lines. In one region, if field lines are very close, that means the strength of field is strong in that region. And if the field lines are, say, comparative far distance apart, then the field is comparative weak. So this relative density or relative separation of field lines will give the strength of electric field. In the region of strong field, electric field lines are close, and in region of weak field they are comparative far apart. They are comparative far apart. So field is strong, that means field lines are close. If field is weak, then they are far apart. So I'm giving you an example. I'm giving you two regions. Region 1 and region 2. Yes, Amalia, in which region electric field lines are closer? In region 1 or region 2? Means they have less
Region
separation. Region 1. Okay, Shazada, can you decide the strength of field? In which region the field is stronger? 1 or 2?
So where it's closer in first one, there
Yeah.
it's strong.
In first one, the field lines are close. That means field is strong. In region 2, they are comparative far apart. That means field is weak. So you can say electric field in region 1 is strength of electric field in region 1 is greater than the strength of field in region 2. So in region 1, field lines are close, so the strength is higher. In region 2, they are comparative far apart, so field is comparative weak. So in region 1, field is strong, and region 2, it's comparative weak. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, just note it down. Then move on to the next property. Okay, I have one animation also, maybe. Animation. Okay. So can I raise it? Everyone have written? Can I change the slide now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. There's one more thing about the field lines. One small example. Say I take a charge of some q, and for this charge I draw 4 field lines. 1 field lines, 2, 3 and 4. I draw 4 field lines for this charge. Now I take a charge twice of the previous one. I take 2q charge. So when I double the charge, that means the number of field lines will also get doubled. So earlier it was 4, now this will be 8 field lines for this charge. So the number of field lines are relative. Like instead of this 4, I can draw 3 field lines or I can draw 2 field lines. But if I draw 4 field lines or 2 field lines for Q charge, then for 2Q charge, the number of field lines will get doubled. Like if I take a charge of plus 2 coulomb and I say that I'm drawing 2 field lines for this charge, and say now I'm taking a charge of plus 8 coulomb. Fatma, can you just guess the number of field lines for 8 coulomb charge?
4.
4. See, the charge here get doubled or it gets 4 times? 2 coulomb and 8 coulomb. The charge is twice or it's 4 times now? Fatma, this is 2 coulomb, na? And this is
Yeah.
8 coulomb. So 8 is 4 times of 2 coulomb?
No, 3 times.
4 times. 4 to 8.
4 times.
4
yeah,
times, yeah.
4 times.
So if your charge is 4 times, then what will happen to the number of field lines? For 2 coulomb, I am drawing 2 field lines. Then what would be the number of field lines for 8 coulomb charge?
8.
It will also get increased by 4 times. So for
Yeah,
this is
6.
2, for 8 coulomb it will be 8. 4 times, 4 times. 4 to the 8, not 3 to the 8. 8 times. So you'll have 8 field lines for it. I'm again saying the number of field lines is relative. Instead of 2, I can draw 3 field lines here. If I draw 3 field lines here, 1, 2, 3. Then for 8 coulomb charge, Amalia, what would be the number of field lines for this 8 coulomb charge? Yes, Amalia. 4. Why 4? What's the relation between 2 coulomb and 8 coulomb? 8 coulomb is 4 times 2 coulomb. Yes, Amalia?
Yes, sir.
So if the charge becomes 4 times, the number of field will also becomes 4 times. So number of field lines here are 3. So how much field lines should this 8 coulomb charge have? Must have
8.
8, and just multiply 3 with 4.
How much, sir?
Earlier it was 3. Now it will become 4 times.
12.
This is the number of field lines for it. The number of field lines will be 12. Yes, Amalia, now you get it?
Yes, sir.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is how we draw number of field lines if the charge is given. If charge becomes 4 times, the number of fields will become 4 times. If charge is doubled, the number of field lines is also doubled. Okay, just note it down. Then we'll move on to the next topic. Write this one. Just tell me once you have written. Note it down now. Behind magnetic field lines. Okay. So, Aman, the basic concept behind magnetic field lines is the very existence of magnetic field only. No, magnetic field lines and electric field lines have different properties. Magnetic field lines do exist, they are a physical reality, while electric field lines are hypothetical concepts. So, magnetic field lines does not exist due to force. It's rather force, magnetic force exists due to field lines. If you have a magnet, then magnetic field lines exist, and those magnetic field lines will exert force. So the otherwise, field is fundamental, then comes the force. And few properties of electric and magnetic field lines will match, but there are many properties which are different. So that was about the magnitude. After magnitude, the third term is electric field lines. Electric field lines originate from a positive charge and it terminates at a negative charge. They are continuous curves. Means there is no break in electric field lines. If I draw field lines, there should be no break in field lines. The only break occurs when you have positive and negative charges. It will originate from a positive charge and it will terminate at a negative charge. Next property. So we first have the property that will give you the direction of field lines. Then the next property will give you the magnitude of the field lines. Third property will tell you that it will originate from the positive charge and it will terminate at negative charge. The next will tell you that they are continuous curves. Now, the next property will tell you how you show attraction and repulsion using field lines. So you can say that electric field lines contract longitudinally which explain attraction of unlike charges. See, basically what happens is if you have a single positive charge, just one single positive charge, that means there is no attraction, no repulsion. Your field line is straight. If you have just a positive charge, that means no attraction, no repulsion, your field line is straight. If you have just one negative charge, if I forget this positive charge, you have a system having only a negative charge, then again your field line is straight. So if you have isolated charges means just a single positive charge or a single negative charge, then your field lines are straight. There is no modification. But if I bring one positive and negative charge close, Amalia, what will happen if I put a negative and a positive charge close? They will attract or they will repel? If I put a positive and a negative charge close, then what will happen with them? Amalia.
They will get neutralized.
Neutralize or they will try to attract each other?
Yeah, attract each other. Sorry.
They will attract each other. So they attract each other. That thing can be shown by a modification of the feed line. See, earlier the feed line of positive and both negative was straight. Feed lines are straight, that means they are at a very large distance, they are not attracting each other. But when you place them at a small separation, then they will start attracting each other and their feed lines will modify. Basically what happens is this feed lines will contract with this feed line and the resultant feed line is this. This is known as longitudinal contraction. And this longitudinal contraction always explains the attraction of the charges. Even if I don't tell you that one charge is positive and one charge is negative, I just draw this type of contraction. Then this type of contraction would mean that the charges will attract each other. It means you can get this type of questions. You have one charge here, you have another charge here, and this is the feed lines. Yes, Shahzada, just by looking at this feed lines, can you tell whether these two charges are attracting or not?
Yes, they are attracting.
Out of 1 and 2, which one is positive?
2 is positive and 1 is negative.
Good. 2 is positive and 1 is negative because feed lines are originating from positive and they are terminating at negative. So it originates from the positive charge and it terminates at the negative charge.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is how we decide attraction using feed lines. But if you have isolated charges, then feed lines would be straight. Means no attraction, no repulsion. Next property will tell you about the repulsion using feed lines.
Charges.
Yes?
Can there be more than 2 charges?
Yeah, there can be more than 2 charges. Then you will have multiple attraction and multiple repulsions. That means you will have multiple contractions. You will have multiple longitudinal contractions. Like if you have one positive here, you have one negative here, and you have one negative here. So this positive and negative will attract. So this will be contraction. This positive and negative will attract. Then you will have this type of contractions. They will repel. For repulsion, we are looking at, see the next property.
Yes.
Okay. So the next property is electric field lines exert lateral pressure, exerts lateral pressure on each other, which explain repulsion of like charges. Lateral pressure means, say if you have two positive charges, then the field lines will exert pressure over each other, and due to this pressure, they will modify in this way. This is what we call that these field lines are exerting pressure over each other. This is known as lateral pressure now. And this lateral pressure will explain repulsion. Now I'm giving you two examples. Direction of dipole moment is negative to positive. So for dipole, electric field lines is from negative to positive. No, Noor. Negative to positive is the direction of dipole moment, but the direction of field lines are always from positive to negative. Are you confusing with axial line and equatorial line?
Yes, sir, because electric field is always in the direction of electric dipoles.
It's along the direction of electric dipole for the axial line only, but for the equatorial line it's opposite to the dipole.
Okay,
So what we will just give me 2 minutes. I am coming to electric dipole, then I will discuss your doubt.
okay, sir.
We'll come to it. So I'm giving you two examples basically. You have charge 1, charge 2, and this is the direction modification of field lines. Then you have charge 3 and you have charge 4, and this is the modification of the field lines. Yes, Fatma. Just by looking at this picture, can you tell me that 1 and 2 are attracting or they are repelling each other? Mariam,
Yes, sir.
in this case, these two charges are attracting or they are repulsing?
They are attracting.
They are attracting. Now, can you decide out of 1 and 2 which one is positive and which one is negative?
One is positive,
Hmm.
two is negative.
Good. Sania,
Yes, sir.
in 3 and 4, can you decide are they attracting or repulsing or they repel?
They are repelling.
They are repelling. Can you decide which one is positive and which one is okay? Both are positive?
Positive.
Both are positive.
Both are
No, they can repel each other if both the charges are identical.
The
So
both
just
can be as well, right?
both can be negative as well. But we usually don't draw for the negative charge, the same thing. Only the direction of this arrow will change. Everything else will remain same. Only the direction of arrow will change. Okay, so we know how to decide attraction and repulsion using your concept of field lines. Seventh one. Then we have neutral point. We have to show neutral point using field lines. So who will tell what are neutral points? Shazada, what are neutral points?
So neutral point like where the it's
Mhm.
zero, like
Yeah, neutral point means right, correct. Point at which the net electric field is zero are known as neutral point. So if you want to show neutral point using field lines, what we do is electric field lines cannot cross a neutral point because neutral point means net field is zero. So electric field lines cannot cross a neutral point. They are parallel near it. This means if I say this is a neutral point, then just near the neutral point, field lines will become parallel. They cannot cross this neutral point. They are parallel near this neutral point. They cannot cross this neutral point. They becomes parallel to the neutral point. Because if field lines cross the neutral point, that would mean that even at the neutral point, you have non-zero field. But the field at the neutral point is zero. That means your field lines cannot cross your neutral point. That is the seventh one. The last property is regarding conductor. If you have a conductor, then inside the conductor, electric field is zero. There is no electric field inside the conductor. That means field lines cannot penetrate the surface of conductor. So you can say that electric field lines cannot penetrate a conductor. They are perpendicular to its surface. Why a field, why electric field inside a conductor is zero? This we will study in chapter number 2. So I'm not giving you the reason why electric field is zero. But since electric field is zero, the electric field lines cannot penetrate a conductor and also they are perpendicular to its surface. Means if I take a conductor, then field cannot penetrate it. Field lines are just perpendicular to its surface. That's it. So these are 7 or 8 properties. On the basis of these 8 properties, we will draw electric field lines for different type of systems. Okay, note it down now. And tell me once you have written. Huh?
Done, sir.
Okay. So can I change the slide now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Ahmed, field lines are never straight from positive to negative. They're always curved. There will be 2 or 3 straight field lines which will show no interaction. I will come to them. I will come to this question when I draw field lines.
Okay, sir.
Just tell me when you have written. Let's change the slide.
Sir, done.
Okay. Yes, Amalia, can I change the slide now?
Yes, sir.
It's okay. Now I'm just sharing an animation which shows field lines for different types of systems. Let's first look at that animation and then I will draw. See, you have a positive charge and a negative charge. And these charges are at a small separation. That means they are attracting each other. So that when the charges attract each other, then the pattern of the field line is charge. The field lines will originate from the positive charge and they will terminate at the negative charge. These are the field lines. See, these field lines are going to infinity. These straight field lines are going to infinity. These straight field lines are coming from infinity. All other field lines are originating from the positive charge and they are terminating at the negative charge. These field lines are originating from the positive charge and they are terminating at the negative charge. Except these two. These two field lines basically shows that the range of electric field is up to infinity. One field line is going up to infinity, another is coming from infinity. So this basically shows that your field lines are the range of field is up to infinity only. And this straight shows that there is no interaction of this end with this end. This end and this end are not attracting. So field lines are originating from the positive charge and they terminates at the negative charge. So these are field lines for a system of positive and negative charge only. Is it clear, this first one?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
So let's do one thing. I keep on drawing these field lines. So this is electric field lines for a system of positive and negative charge. And since both the charges are equal, you can also say that these are the electric field lines for electric dipole. Acha, just give me 1 second. 1 second. Just give me 1 second. I will draw few more field lines. Yeah. So if you have just a positive charge, no interaction, means you can say that these two charges are a very large distance. Then the shape of the field lines will be straight. If these two charges are at a very large separation, means they are neither attracting nor repelling each other. We call these type of charges as isolated charges. So if you have an isolated positive charge and an isolated negative charge, then this is the field lines. Straight field lines, no interaction. So these are the field lines for an isolated positive or negative charge. So that's first, field lines for isolated positive and negative charge. So the arrow is outwards. This outwards means these electric field lines are going to infinity. The arrow is inwards here. Inward means field lines are coming from infinity. Straight line means no interaction. These are two separate systems, positive and negative charges at a very large separation, so they are not interacting. That's why I'm calling them as isolated. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Just draw these field lines, draw this pattern, then we will
So done.
Sir, you muted.
due to electric dipole. A system of positive and negative charge. So see, this is very clear that electric field lines are originating from positive charge and they are terminating at negative charge. From positive charge, they're originating from positive charge, and after making this type of semicircle, they are terminating at the negative charge. This field line straight is going to infinity. This field line straight is coming from infinity. This one is coming from infinity. Inwards arrow. And these are outwards arrow. So these are electric field lines due to electric dipole. So this straight field lines will show no interaction. Another thing. So Noor, your doubt was, since in a dipole on axial line direction of field is same as that of dipole moment, so the direction of field line should be from negative to positive. Basically, Noor, what we are doing is we are writing field lines in between the charges. And the derivation that we did was not in between the charges, we did in this region, here or here. Okay, so in between the charges, when you write field lines in between positive and negative charge, then they behave like isolated charges, two different charges, not a dipole. The thing of axial line and equatorial line will lie here in these regions. This is plus, this is minus, here this is axial line, and here this is equatorial line. What field lines that we are drawing for this region, in between plus q and minus q. Okay, Noor?
Okay, sir. Understood.
Okay, just note it down and tell me once you have written.
Done, sir.
So done.
So I'm erasing it. See the next shape. So these are the field lines due to this system, dipole. Next, after dipole, let's take a system of two positive charges. If I take a system having two positive charges, yes. See, if you have two positive charges, two equal positive charges, then these two equal positive charges will try to repel each other. So I'm taking a system, the third system, two equal positive charges. So if you have two equal positive charges, then at the center you have a neutral point. This is the neutral point. So no field can pass through this line. So just near this neutral point, field lines will become parallel. So these are electric field lines due to two equal positive charges. See, this field line shows everything. It shows repulsion, lateral pressure. The number of field lines are same. If I count here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And here also it should be 11. Both the charges have same number of field line. That means the magnitude of both the charges is same. No field line is passing through this region. That means this is the neutral point. And field lines are respecting this neutral point, that they prefer not to pass through the neutral point. If they pass through the neutral point, then the net field over this point would be 0. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just note it down.
So done.
Yes, can I erase it? It's okay. After two positive charges, let's move on to, okay, it's over. So these are electric field lines basically. So we have drawn electric field lines for a system of two isolated charges, one positive, one negative. Then we draw electric field lines for a dipole. Then we draw electric field lines for two equal positive charges. Fourth system, two unequal positive charges. If we have two unequal positive charges, like Q1 is less than Q2. This is Q1 and this is Q2. Fatma, can you decide which charge will have lesser number of field lines? Yes, Fatma. Which charge will have less number of field lines?
Q2.
Q2. Why Q2 will have less number of field lines?
Because,
Q2 is greater.
yeah, so Q1.
Q1. Q2 will have more number of field lines. A small charge will have less number of field lines. Greater charge will have more number of field lines. So Q will have less field lines. Q2 will have more field lines. Okay, Mariam. So if you have two
Yes.
unequal charges, where the neutral point will lie? When the charges were equal, neutral point was lie at the midpoint. But now the charges are not equal. So where this midpoint, neutral point will lie?
Near to the greater charge.
Near the smaller charge. Huh? Always remember, neutral point lies near the smaller charge. Over this line, this is the line which is passing through the neutral point. No field line can pass through the neutral point. Now if I draw the field lines here, now when we draw field lines, just keep in mind that Q2 should have more number of field lines than Q1. And your field line should not pass through the neutral point. It should not pass through the neutral point. So see, Q2 have 7 field lines and Q1 have 2 field lines. This shows that the magnitude of Q2 is greater than that of Q1. Okay, note it down. Then we'll draw field lines for a conductor. Yes, is it clear?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, this fifth is for a conductor. These are the questions that you can get on field lines. So let's say you have this conductor, then it's very clear that field lines cannot pass through the conductor. If you have a conductor, then field lines cannot penetrate through the conductor. So for this conductor, this will be the pattern of electric field lines. On the surface, it's perpendicular and there is no field line inside. No field line inside the conductor. No field inside the conductor. This is normal, and on the surface it's normal to the surface of conductor. Okay, after conductor, if I give you two things, one charge and another conductor, if I give you this system, one conductor and one charge, say I give you a positive charge Q and a conductor, then what will happen is this positive charge will induce some negative charge over the conductor on one side, and it will induce some positive charge on the another side. And this is the field lines which originate from the positive charge and terminates at the negative charge. It originates from the positive charge and it terminates at the negative charge, or which originate from positive and terminates at negative. And for this side, this will be positive always. There is one last type of question on electric field lines where this is positive charge, this is conductor, huh? And the second end of the conductor is earthed. Second end of the conductor is earthed. This is conductor. Yes, Ahmed, what difference will be there in part 6th and 7th due to earthing?
It will gain more negative charge from the earth.
And what will happen due to that negative charge? This end will become neutral. Huh? This will become neutral. So what will happen is field lines will originate from positive, terminate at negative. There are no field lines here because this positive charge gets neutralized due to earthing. Well, if you get tough questions on electric field lines, then those tough questions are these questions. So these are the shapes of field lines for the systems. Just note it down and tell me if you still have any doubt. Is it clear, everyone? Mariam,
Yes, sir.
Fatma,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Amalia, any doubt?
No, sir.
So can I change the slide now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that was about field lines. Now after field lines, we will start something else.
Sir,
Okay.
Done, sir.
It's okay. So everyone have written?
Yes, sir.
It's okay. Now, after field lines, the next is the concept of uniform electric field. Uniform electric field. So uniform electric field means field which is independent of position. Uniform field means both magnitude and direction of field will remain constant with distance. Like at this position, the field is 10 Newton per Coulomb and it's along x-axis. Here also, this is 10 Newton per Coulomb along positive x-axis. Here also, this is 10 Newton per Coulomb positive x-axis. So if the magnitude as well as direction of field remains same with position, then you call the field to be uniform. So uniform means both magnitude and direction of electric field does not change with position. That the field is uniform. Neither magnitude nor direction will change. For example, this 10 Newton per Coulomb, this 10 Newton per Coulomb, this 10 Newton per Coulomb. This is uniform field. Now for uniform field,
Sir, we can't hear you.
so I'm saying, can you predict the shape of electric field lines for uniform field?
Straight line,
Why straight line? Why not curve?
because it does not changes position and the magnitudes
Yes,
are equal.
yes. Because if we take a curve, then the tangent direction of tangent will change. So it cannot be a curve. For uniform field, your field line should be straight. You will have straight field lines. Not just straight, but parallel and equidistant field lines. Because magnitude is also constant and magnitude is given by the separation between the field lines. Since separation of field lines is same, that means magnitude is same. So this is how we represent uniform field through parallel and equidistant field lines. We represent uniform field through parallel and equidistant field lines. So parallel and equidistant field lines will represent uniform electric field. Just note it down, then move on to the next topic.
Set R. So we cannot
Sir,
hear
we
you.
can't hear you.
Just a second, let me check with the audio settings. Okay. So the next is path of charge particle in electric field. Or let's write this as charge particle in external electric field. Charge particle in external electric field. So if I take some electric field, if I take this electric field, this is some electric field, E, and I place a charge particle here. This field E is not due to this charge small q. This field is external to this charge q. This charge q is not generating this field. This charge q will generate its own field, but that's not E. So I'm writing explicitly that E is not the field of q. Some other charge is generating E. Some other charge is generating E. So there is any other charge and that charge is generating this electric field. This small q is not the electric field of E. So what happens is when you put a charge q in this electric field E, this electric field will exert some force over q. So force on q due to electric field E. Electric field. So that force will be plus QE. So when you put a charge particle in some electric field, then that electric field will exert the force on this charge Q. And the force is simply QE. If the charge is positive, then the direction of force is in the direction of field. So direction of force on positive charge, direction of force on positive charge is same as that of E. Is same as that of E. So positive charge will exert force in the direction of field only. But if you have a negative charge, let's say you have some field, and in this field I placed a negative charge. This is field E, and this field E I put a negative charge. Then what will happen is this field will push this negative charge in a direction opposite to that of field. So the force on negative charge will be minus of QE. Direction of force is opposite to that of field. Direction of force on negative charge is opposite to E. That's it. So if you place a positive charge in a field, the field will exert some force on the positive charge and the direction of that force is same as that of field. But if in the same field you put a negative charge, then field will push that negative charge in a direction opposite to itself. So this is how a field affect a charge. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's do some numerical on this concept. Okay. Solve this question. So this is the electric field along y-axis. This is electric field along y-axis. In this electric field, and this is 5 Newton per coulomb. I place a charge of plus 2 coulomb here. Sania, what is the direction of force on this plus 2 coulomb charge? Force, the direction of force on this plus 2 coulomb due to electric field?
Okay.
Which direction? Right, left?
Right.
Right. Okay. Sanya, just read this statement.
Same.
Now tell me, what is the direction of force in this plus 2 coulomb charge due to this electric field?
It is state.
It's where?
It is state.
See, if you have a positive charge, then the direction of force on that positive charge is same as that of field. What is the direction of field, Sania? Plus y-axis, plus x-axis, negative x-axis, z-axis. What is the direction of electric field here? This arrow will tell.
Y-axis.
Positive y-axis. So, the direction of force on the positive charge is also along positive y-axis.
Yes.
This is what this statement says. The direction of force on the positive charge is same as that of electric field. So if your electric field is acting along y-axis, that means force on the charged particle will also act along y-axis. So it's acting along y-axis. Okay. So Amalia, what is the magnitude of this force? How would you calculate the magnitude of this force?
Two into 5.
The magnitude would be QE,
QE.
where Q is 2, E is 5, so that is 10 Newton. So this is the magnitude of force, 10 Newton. If I write this in vector form, then this F will be, it's 10 I cap Newton. Okay, let's do one more thing. Instead of this, yes.
It will
Sorry,
be
yes. Y, so J cap, right. Now, instead of this positive charge, if I place a negative charge here, this is field. So this is electric field, which is 5 Newton per coulomb. And I place a charge of minus 2 coulomb here. Mariam, what is the direction of force now?
Opposite.
Opposite means along which axis?
Negative y-axis.
Negative y-axis. Very good. So this is the direction of force now. And what is the magnitude of this force? The magnitude is same. It's QE. It's 2 into 5, which is 10. But the direction is along negative y-axis. So in vector form, we can write this as, this is 10 minus j cap Newton per coulomb. So this is force 10 minus j cap Newton per coulomb now. Clear?
So why didn't we
Yes,
put
sir.
Newton by Coulomb for the first one, the
Oh, sorry,
positive one?
sorry. It's Newton only. Sorry. Newton. Force is Newton. Newton per coulomb is feet.
So done.
So let's do few more questions on this concept only, on the concept of force between two charged particles. Okay. Next question. In the next question, you have two sheets. And this is electric field in between these two sheets. This sheet is positive. And this sheet is negative. Fatma, what will be the direction of field here? From upwards or downwards? The direction of field between this positive and negative sheet. Yes, Fatma.
Positive to negative.
So
Upward?
upwards, right? The direction of field is from positive to negative. This is the direction of field. And let's say this field is E. Now what we did is, and the separation between the two is small d, between the two plates is small d. What we did is, we put a proton and I put a proton here and an electron here. A proton and an electron is placed at rest near positive and negative plate. Calculate time taken by proton and electron to reach opposite plate. Okay, tell me one thing. In class 11, you must have did this expression. S is ut plus half a t square. Amalia, what is a in this expression?
Acceleration.
Acceleration. Mariam, what is u?
The distance.
U.
U is
Initial velocity.
yeah, velocity. Yeah.
Sania, what is s here?
Distance.
Displacement, huh?
Displacement.
Okay, let's start with the proton. This is proton. What is the direction of force on the proton, Ahmed? In which direction this proton will experience force?
Along the direction of electric field upwards.
Upwards. So this proton will experience a force in the upwards direction. So force on proton, F is QE, right? And the charge on the proton is E, small e, so E. If I say that MP is the mass of proton, Shahzada, you have force, you have mass, then what's the acceleration of proton?
So it's force by mass.
Force by mass. So the acceleration of proton is force on proton divided by mass of proton. Force on the proton is EE, mass on the proton is MP. So that's the acceleration of proton. Noor, what's the initial velocity of proton if they are both are released from rest?
0.
Initial velocity is 0. Now I need time taken by this proton from here to, and what's the displacement covered, Noor? If the proton is moving from positive to negative plate,
It's D.
it's D. So to calculate, I need time. T is time taken by proton, or it will be better if I put a TP here. Huh? So I'm using this equation. S is ut plus half a t square. If I substitute all values, displacement is d, initial velocity is 0 plus half, acceleration is E by mass of proton multiplied by t square. So if I multiply it here, this is twice of mass of proton
So one more.
into d. Yes.
Oh, nothing. Nothing. That t here ut that will be multiplied with 0, so it will be 0, right?
Yes, it will be 0.
Right.
EE is equal to t square, or I should write this as TP, it's time of proton. So time taken by the proton to move from one plate to another is this, twice of mass of proton into displacement divided by electronic charge into E. This is the time taken by a proton to move from one plate to another. Okay, next is, now if I write this for electron, Amalia, this electron is here. What is the direction of force on this electron due to electric field?
Yes, sir.
Amal. In which direction this electron will experience force?
Downwards,
Why downwards?
because it's negative.
It's negative. Direction of force is opposite to that of electric field. So for electron, the magnitude of force is same. It's EE because charge on electron and proton is same. Just the direction of force is different. It's downwards now. So if ME is mass of electron, and AE is acceleration of electron, then you can compare this AE with F. AE is F by ME. F is EE divided by ME. So that's your acceleration. So you have acceleration, the initial velocity of electron is 0. Displacement covered by electron is also d because it's moving from this plate to this plate. Huh? So what happened? So displacement covered is also d. Time taken by electron is Te. I can use this equation again, ut plus half a t square. So displacement is d, initial velocity is 0, half, acceleration is E by me into TE square. If I multiply it here, it's 2D into me is divided by EE is TE square. So time taken by electron is, it's root over 2D ME divided by EE. Let's call this as equation number 1 and this is equation number 2. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, note it down and try to decide which will take lesser time. Just note it down and decide which particle will take less time, electron or proton. Which particle will take less time? Electron will take less time or proton will take less time? Just note it down and tell me when you have written it. Okay, Noor. Okay, Ahmed. Ahmed, just think about your logic again. I think you are wrong. Noor is correct. No, Shadada. Which will take less time? Noor is correct. Ahmed, you are making mistake. Shazad, you are also making mistake. Yes, Mariam, you are correct. And your logic is also correct. Yes, Sania, you are correct also. Ahmed, your answer is right, but not your reason. Just tell me once you have written, then I will discuss which will take less time and why.
Done, sir.
I'm done, sir.
See, if you look at these two expressions, in both the expressions 2 and 2 are same, D and D is same, E and E is same. The only difference is in the mass of proton and the mass of electron. Now if I compare the masses, then the mass of electron is less than the mass of proton, and you can see that time is proportional to the mass. So you can conclude easily that electron will take less time than the proton. Electron will take less time to move from one plate to another than proton. Electron will take less time than proton, just because they are proportional to mass. You can decide this thing in one more logical way. Since electron is lighter than the proton, So electron will move with a faster velocity and will cover the distances lesser time than the proton. So electron will take less time than proton. Yes, Ahmed, Fatma, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just so that was about the path of charged particle in electric field. There is one more question on the same logic. Oh, I have to leave. Okay.
So can you take the previous slide?
Yes.
So what is the mass of electron and proton?
Yeah. The mass of electron is 9.1 into 10 raised to the power minus 31 kg. And mass of the proton is 1.67 so protons are almost 1000 times heavier than electrons.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so I should stop now. Huh? You have Zohar time.
Sir, sir.
Sorry. Yes. Okay, so let's stop here. Can we have class on Friday morning?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Friday morning means your 10 means my 12:30 to 1:30, then it's Zohar time.
So
What
can you
about
keep 10?
Yes, I was thinking about 10 a.m. only.
Like 8 of Bahrain.
8 of Bahrain. I don't think that I'm comfortable at 10:30 of India, 8 a.m. of Bahrain. Yes.
Yes, sir. It's okay.
It's okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay.
It's okay. What about the rest? So you can join at 8 a.m. Na?
Yes, sir.
So it won't be a 2-hour lecture. It would be a 1.5-hour lecture just to compensate these 15 minutes. Huh? The loss that we are doing. Okay, so let's see you on Friday at 8 a.m. Morning 8 a.m.